Science.
Big Picture Science steps back to get the wide-angle view on science and technology.
So think big. Big Picture Science, Saturdays at 8 a.m.
on KSJE, the information and cultural beacon of the Four Corners.
Wednesday morning here on KSJE, and time to take our weekly trip to the Encouragement Lab. Dr. Mike Hattabaugh is joining us from the lab this morning in the Encouragement Tower. Good morning, Dr. Hattabaugh.
Good morning.
Good to see you and have you with us again this week. We are going to talk again a little bit about narcissism, which we've talked about before, but it's a pretty big topic, so there's always stuff to talk about, right?
Yeah, and you know, when we do the Encouragement Lab, one of the things that will throw cold water on encouragement is a narcissist. So yeah, I've been studying that. A new study just came out that said, guess what? This is going to shock our audience.
Okay.
This is one of those studies. Right?
Everybody sit down.
Yes. Narcissists are attracted to politics.
Wow.
Shocker.
Yeah. I think we could probably see that these days and all days. Yeah. Okay.
Well, and so the whole idea of narcissists is to knock you off kilter. That's what they're good at, is to get you to think it's all your fault. They're really good. We talked about gaslighting the last time we talked about narcissism. Right?
That's right. Right.
And so I just want you to, you know, if our listeners could just pause for a minute and realize that I just saw, another kind of, I saw another narcissist in politics go after a narcissist in politics today on a post that a friend of mine shared. And I just shook my head and I just went, you just can't help yourself. It's, you know, it's like an addictive drug. You know, once you bought into the Kool-Aid of one political party, it's addictive. It's like eating Pop-Tarts for breakfast. You can't stop.
Right. Well, that sounds like it is probably true, and it is true, I know. And I think both parties, both major parties, have this problem, don't they?
Well, and here's the thing is 30 years from now, they'll still have that problem.
Right.
Because like I said, the study just shows that narcissists tend to go in politics.
Right.
That's how we end up with dictators. They're narcissists, you know.
True.
Only my opinion matters and not yours.
But yet,
that's the thing we need to realize, is that it's just killing those of us that are trying to live our lives on a regular basis. When we get sucked into that, it just sucks our life out. And that's what I hate right now. For the next 5 weeks, we're all going to be like, you know, the life's going to be sucked out of us by people that, you know, think that we have to buy into a certain narcissist.
Right. Well, that's a good point, and I will just remind our viewers and listeners that KSJE remains political ad-free, and I'll leave it at that.
Awesome.
But I wanted to ask you too, you know, if narcissists all have these dictatorial tendencies and they get into politics, yet we don't have dictatorships all around the globe. We have democracies and representative republics and things along that line. So obviously there's a level of narcissism then that changes with some people. Is that the idea?
Well, the good
in
news
politics?
Well, the good news is usually there's another narcissist that's always fighting against the narcissist.
Ah.
And that's the good news, is that there'll always be another narcissist that thinks they're smarter, better, faster than the other narcissists.
Got it. And that keeps them in check, I guess, then, if they're just going after each other?
That's the checks and balances we don't talk about.
Yeah. No, we don't.
Narcissist checks and balances.
Interesting.
So in all good humor, I mean, that's, granted, I'm a contrarian, and I love right here in the midst of the most, intense. So people are saying, this is the 27th time in my lifetime, and I think there's only been 20 elections. There aren't even that many, actually. I'm not 80.
No.
Anyway, well, I guess you count every other year. But once again, what I'm hearing is this is the election of our lifetime.
Well, yeah, there's a lot at stake, I guess, and, I think it's just important for everyone to get out there and vote.
Oh, please go vote.
Have a plan.
Please go vote. But realize you're voting for a flawed candidate.
No matter who it is.
And don't flaw. So bottom line for Encouragement Lab is don't flaw yourself by trying to flail around for a flawed candidate.
Right.
don't flog yourself. Don't put yourself in a place where, I see people online, unfriend me now if you don't vote this way. And I'm like, no, we need more friends that don't think like us.
True. That's true.
That's what friendship's supposed to be is I like you even though I disagree with you.
Right. And I think isn't that sometimes what happens to politicians too, is they get inside the bubble and they've got all these aides and people around them that just tell them they're the best thing since sliced bread, and some have very difficult times telling their boss, their candidate, that maybe they shouldn't go down that path or say that thing or stand for that whatever.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's when I actually interviewed in Washington, D.C. for a couple of jobs back when I got out of grad school. And that's what I found out real fast. It was like, yeah, you can get a job, but you better shut your mouth and your ideals and your beliefs real fast, because all the people here, it doesn't matter what you believe. It's just you got to make the people out there in flyover country believe this, or people in the big cities. I mean, that's really what our politics are boiled down to, is making people in the flyover country feel like the big cities are sucking up everything, and people in the cities making them think that the people in the flyover country are controlling them. So that's really politics in a nutshell.
Wow, that's amazing. But you're right. It kind of is where we are these days, and how we've been in the last few years. So when we talk about narcissists, who aren't politicians, Dr. Hattabaugh, but we run into them in our everyday lives, is that still the same rules apply, that they have these dictatorial tendencies?
Yeah, I watched a video this week on what you realize after you cut the narcissist in your life loose.
Yeah.
It's like, it's something you fret over. It's like, well, are they really? Should I do something with them? And then when you finally get rid of them, you go, oh, wow, that was really dysfunctional. Wow, there was no way I was going to. The thing is we think we can change a narcissist. We think if we just give them the right information, they're going to change.
And that won't happen.
No.
Gotcha. Okay. Interesting. Well, something to think about for the next week till we talk again. Dr. Hattabaugh, thank you.
You're welcome.
That is Dr. Mike Hattabaugh. He is with me every Wednesday from the Encouragement Lab right here on KSJE Farmington.
A new topic, local favorites.